Study 8.2 Our Creator's Calendar. Day, night, evening, twilight, morning, twilight. Shalom, this is the second in a series of studies on the subject of Our Creator's Calendar. The outline of this study. 1. Day, night, evening, twilight, morning, twilight. Yom means day, and the sun is to rule the day. Yomin means days. Lila means night, and the moon with the stars is to rule the night. Ehrev means evening twilight. Boker means morning twilight. Shakar means day spring or dawn, whilst it is still dark or black. Ba Katsi Halila means in the middle of the night. Saharim means middle of the day or noon. Ba'etzim Hayom means in the bone or in the middle of the day. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, with the stars. And Elohim set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And there came to be Ehrev, evening twilight, and there came to be Boker, morning twilight, at the end of the fourth day. The sun to rule by day, for his loving commitment is everlasting. The moon with stars to rule by night, for his loving commitment is everlasting. Thus said Yahuwah, who gives the sun for a light by day, and the statutes of the moon with the stars for a light by night, who stirs up the sea and its waves roar. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. Have you ever commanded the Boker morning, and caused the Shakar dayspring or dawn to know its place? Yahushua answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbles not, because he sees the light of this world. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house comes, at Ehrev, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the Boker, lest coming suddenly he should find you sleeping. The sun is to rule the day, therefore the day is sunrise to sunset, and there are 12 hours in a day. The moon with the stars is to rule the night, therefore the night and the stars are visible, and there are either 3 or 4 watches in the night. Yes, the Moedim, appointed times of the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Day of Atonement, are celebrated from Ehrev to Ehrev, but this does not alter the definition of a Hebrew day beginning at sunrise and ending at sunset. Night watches mentioned in the Tanakh and the Brit Hadashah. The period of time we call evening twilight, the Hebrews called Ehrev. The period of time we call morning twilight, the Hebrews called Boker. And twilight is divided into civil, nautical, and astronomical twilight. The moon with the stars is to rule the night. Therefore at night the stars are visible. At sunset the stars are not visible. During civil twilight the brightest stars are visible and the horizon is visible. During nautical twilight all the stars are visible and the horizon is visible. During astronomical twilight all the stars are visible, but the horizon is no longer visible. Therefore night is nautical dusk in the evening until nautical dawn in the morning. In 1979 I was 17 years of age and I joined the Merchant Navy as an officer cadet. I had a 37-year career as a professional mariner, retiring from the position of Harbour Master of the Port of Dampier in Western Australia in 2016. I mention this because I hold qualifications in celestial navigation, and the early part of my career was before the advent of GPS and before sat-nav was available to merchant shipping. Using a sextant to take sun, moon, star and planet sights was our only means of navigating ships across oceans, and we became very good at it. As a deck officer preparing to take star sights in the evening, I would calculate the time of civil twilight, select 5 or 6 stars, ranking them in order of brightness, and calculate their approximate altitude and azimuth. At civil twilight, I would set the approximate altitude of the brightest star on my sextant and go out on the bridge wing and shoot the star. Then count 10 seconds as I walked to the chronometer in the chart room. I would write down the time and the altitude on my sextant. Then I would walk back out onto the bridge wing to shoot the next star. My point is, I only had a short period of time during nautical twilight when both the stars and the horizon were visible. To shoot my 5 or 6 stars, I had to be organized. The sun ceases to rule at sunset, but the stars do not rule until nautical dusk. The period of time between sunset and nautical dusk is called Ehrev, and likewise with Boker. Day is sunrise to sunset. Night is nautical dusk in the evening until nautical dawn in the morning. Ehrev is sunset until nautical dusk. Boker is nautical dawn until sunrise. I appreciate this is not the way these terms are viewed in modern Hebrew. A Hebrew day is divided into 12 hours, as divided by a sundial. Therefore, the length of a Hebrew day hour varies with the seasons. This diagram illustrates the Hebrew concepts of night, day, Ehrev, and Boker. The day is divided into 12 hours, and the night is divided into either 3 or 4 watches. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. In the first lunar month, on the 14th day of the lunar month, in the Ehrev evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the lunar month, in the Ehrev evening. The Day of Atonement. In the 10th day of this 7th lunar month is Yom HaKippurim. It shall be a set-apart gathering for you, and you shall afflict your beings, and shall bring an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. It is a Sabbath of rest to you, and you shall afflict your beings. On the 9th day of the lunar month at Ehrev evening, from Ehrev evening to Ehrev evening, you shall observe your Shabbat. Both the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Day of Atonement begin at Ehrev on the day before the appointed time falls. But this does not alter the definition of a Hebrew day beginning at sunrise and ending at sunset. 2. The Roman civil date. This diagram illustrates the Hebrew day divided into 12 hours, the Hebrew night divided into either 3 or 4 watches. The Hebrew Ehrev is evening twilight. The Hebrew Boker is morning twilight. And the Roman concept of the date. The Roman concept of the date being divided into AM and PM is total nonsense. In Scripture we have days and we have nights. We do not have the Roman date. A day is defined as the sun is ruling. A day begins at sunrise and ends at sunset. It is our days that are numbered, not our nights. A day is numbered in 2 ways, its position in the Shavua pattern of 7 and its position in the Chodesh Lunar month. A day is divided into 12 hours according to a sundial. Ehrev and Boker are twilight, the periods when the sun is not ruling and the stars are not ruling. If an appointed time is from Ehrev to Ehrev, then this does not alter the definition of a day. A night is defined as the moon and all the stars are ruling. A night is nautical dusk in the evening until nautical dawn in the morning. A night is when no one can work. The nights are not numbered, they are merely a gap between 2 days. A night has no relationship to either the day before or the day after it. It is merely a gap. A night is divided into either 3 or 4 watches. We must stop thinking in terms of the Roman civil date, a period of 24 hours, because this is deceiving us. 3. Conclusion. A Hebrew day is defined as the sun is ruling. A day is sunrise to sunset, and a day is divided into 12 hours according to a sundial. A day is numbered or designated in 2 ways: its position in the Shavua or its position in the Chodesh. A Hebrew night is defined as the moon is ruling with the stars. A night is nautical dusk in the evening until nautical dawn in the morning, and a night is divided into either 3 or 4 watches. A night is when no one can work. Nights are not numbered, they are merely a gap between 2 days. The Hebrew Ehrev is evening twilight, and Ehrev is sunset until nautical dusk. The Hebrew Boker is morning twilight. Boker is nautical dawn until sunrise. The Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Day of Atonement are observed from Ehrev, evening twilight, to Ehrev, evening twilight. However, this does not alter the definition of a day. The Roman concept of the date being 24 hours and divided into AM and PM is total nonsense.